What is going on, you guys? Mr. Brandon, what's
What's
poppin',
up,
Savage?
dude?
What a day.
What a day. What a week.
Holy smokes.
I'm
Just,
I'm g- I'm happy to be back again. I'm happy that the World Cup's still going. I'm happy for a lot of things, college football, baseball, not so much. But college
how
football,
about
soccer,
NFL?
what sports that? I've I down in the deep south, we only care about college football right now. It's the only thing that matters. NFL's dead to us. Baseball could be dead to us. Um, Basketball is just drama, so we don't even worry about it. But what about you, brother?
Dude, Jay chillin'. I'm happy for just like 3 days of a break so I could actually do the work that I've been saying I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. Like, Lord, it's just been nonstop. But I am so down to break stuff down, man. Like, let's just get straight into it.
Where do
Where
you
we
want to
want to
start?
go.
Where do you want to start?
Give me college football. I feel like that's like
All
the
right,
most pressing at the
let's do
moment.
it. It's pressing for us now since US is out of the World Cup. So, college football, the playoffs are done, or the rankings for the playoffs are done. So we know the four teams in the playoffs. My Georgia Bulldogs number one, defending champs, looking to repeat, big time up there. Number two, Michigan. Shout out to them. Beat Ohio State, won their won
Killed
their
Ohio
division.
State, not
Yeah,
just beat.
won their division championship. They're looking good, but at the same time, like I'm not too worried to be honest. TCU three, even though they lost their championship, it's just that just I mean they deserve it though. I will give them that. They're 12-1, 11-1. Sorry, they lost. 11-1, and some people will debate if they deserve it or not because they lost, but they lost in overtime because they went for it on 4th and 1 at the 1 yard line, didn't make it, and the other team scored. So it's not like they got
Yeah.
blown out. And then Ohio State snuck back in number four due to USC losing their championship. So it's going to be Georgia, Ohio State in the first round in Atlanta. So huge home field advantage for the Bulldogs. But Ohio State will travel, and then Michigan will play TCU. And the winners of those two games will play for the national championship. But what makes me happy the most, Alabama's out. Nick Saban cried and cried and cried trying to get back. He's like, we deserve it. Okay, you lost two games by a total of 4 points. Yes. TCU lost one game by a total of 3 points, like in the last second as well. So it's like, you know, I think they deserved it. I'm happy. Some people will say, well, even though I'm an SEC guy and like I want SEC to represent, I I'm happy that Alabama's out because
Can I ask you a question? Ohio State,
of
what's their
course,
record?
11-1.
Okay, so it's not like because like the beating that Michigan gave Ohio
That
State.
was their only loss. So
So
it,
okay, if that was
yeah.
their second loss, Bama should have snuck in.
If
But
they,
yeah,
if they had two losses also, then yes, Bama probably would have snuck in, or they could have maybe put like a Clemson in there who won their ACC division, but they had two losses also. But I think this is the four that I would have gone with if I was on the committee. Maybe one day,
mm.
probably not, but Um, but in the other world of or other news of college football, Deion Sanders leaves Jackson State University for Colorado,
Oh my
and
gosh.
I mean, that's a huge deal. One because he's just so high profile, and it's not like the type of hires Colorado normally makes. Colorado is god awful. So if he can make this turn them around, be massive. In his press conference, there was a lot of like, if you just look online, you kind of just see all these little bad things. If you listen to the whole thing, like he goes in more
It,
details, but like the gist of it is like he's bringing players, like players want to play for him. So people in the portal will now come there. Players from Jackson State will transfer to there. And if you just saw like TikToks or Instagram, like or Facebook, whatever little videos you saw of it, he was like, go in the portal. If you're not good, go in the portal. He goes in more details over the rest of his like speech. He's like hard work's like we need hard work, determination, like you gotta be smart, blah, like all these good things. So he's saying like if you're not gonna do those, then go to the portal. But if you just look at it from like little aspects, it's like whoa. Like I mean he's always been blunt. We all knew he was blunt.
100%.
100%. Like so it's not shocking. I just don't know. It's gonna be interesting if he can like how much of a leeway Colorado gives him to turn them around because they've been bad for like 2 decades. It's not like they've been like
What
decent.
conference are they in?
Whatever the weakest Power Five. I don't know. Pac-12, Big Ten, anything but
Okay,
SEC because they're all awful. But no, I really don't know because I don't like. I don't couldn't tell you the last time I've watched a Colorado game. If I've ever actually watched a Colorado game, like that's just
right.
I don't watch Colorado football, so it's going to be interesting to see because there's so many people already like announcing they're in the transfer portal. Deion Sanders already brought his son over apparently to be quarterback, so that's position's filled. He said he does have to earn it though. How much that actually means, we'll find out. But I'm excited to see what happens next season with them. Do I think that's going to be enough for them to get like with the big dogs? Probably not. Like, yes, he did very good at Jackson State, but also they weren't playing 4 and 5 star players every single game, and they will be where
Yeah,
he is. So
I think it's gonna be very interesting the transfer, like who's gonna come, because like that changes it now with the NIL. Who cares if you're going to Bama or these places? Like you could
yeah,
be coached by like Dion's freaking prime time. Like I'll take it. I'll go to Colorado. You know,
yeah,
I'm curious to see how that, because like you're right. Those segments were like taken out of context and like made them look like are you saying, dude? But like it wasn't saying anything bad when you look at the whole vid.
yeah. It's. I mean, people will take it how they want, and like I don't know if there's like protocols for like players on scholarship if he ends up not having them on the team, like just because he's like we have better players. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with that because in Colorado's team, they're full of scholarship players. But if Deion Sanders is going to swap out, it's like, do I lose my scholarship because I'm not good enough to play for you now, even though I got a full
Right.
ride? Because so, and of course, I don't probably will never know all about those details because I'm not going to look too much into that. But I that was one of the things that I thought I was like, okay, this is interesting.
Totally.
But
Totally.
let's
I can't
let's
wait.
go on. Let's go on to the pro football that I no longer care about until
Can I
next year.
just
So
say, do you
sure.
remember that little betty bet that we made about like who's gonna have a better record, the Lions or the Falcons? And it was like $20 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
I think it was a little bit more than $20, but it was something. Let's just
We can look
hypothetical
back. We
twenty
can look
dollars.
back. Yeah.
Right now, I want to talk about it because I'm feeling good. Falcons. I'm sorry, Brendan. Honestly, death of you at the moment. Like,
It's time for quarterback change. That's all I'm going to say.
yeah, for sure. I mean,
Dude.
I feel so bad because you guys played Pittsburgh, and I just didn't expect that to be the way it happened. Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know.
But let me give you a little rundown of what the Lions have done in the last couple of weeks, right?
Go for it.
Beat the Jags. The Jags are a great team. Beat the Bill. Or
Jack.
okay, everyone was saying Trevor Lawrence has made the next step.
He
You
has
know,
not.
we went to one of their games. We went to one of their games. He looked
He did.
pretty decent. He
He
came
looked
back,
decent,
hit
but not a
Slater.
great team. Not a great team. You could say good.
It's looking
I'll
like they
take
could
good.
be a great team. Okay,
I'll say
good. How about this? The Bills. The Bills.
that
We
one I'll
gave
give
them a
you.
run for the freaking money. How about this? The Bears, right? Everyone's so hyped up on Justin
Dude,
Fields
the Bears
playing
are
out of his
eliminated,
mind.
bro. The Bears are eliminated
Exactly
from the
why?
Bears
Because
are
we
all
beat them. That's what I'm saying. How about this? How about this? Beat the Packers. Okay, we lost to the Dolphins. Who hasn't? Okay, forgive me. All right. Lost
I,
only 4 points to the Vikings. Only lost 3 points, put up 45 points
I have
against the
one
Seahawks.
question. I have one question. Have
What?
you won
What's up?
back to
I
back
don't.
have you won back to back games in your home stadium? Because Buffalo
We don't
has.
need to,
Because
because you know
Buffalo
why?
has.
Do you know? Do you know why? These next two games are huge for my Lions.
Uh-huh.
Specifically, this next one. We beat the Giants. We've been competitive in every freaking game. We beat the Packers, which is an accomplishment. For once in my life in the NFC North, the Lions beat the Packers clearly, okay? The
So
Vikings.
you're
If
so
we
you're
come out of this game, if we win these next two games, we're in the playoffs. Could we just talk about that for a
not
second? The
necessarily
Lions.
not necessarily in the
No,
playoffs.
it is.
It
Dan
depends. It
Orlovsky
depends.
tweeted.
It depends on how the things happen.
But then they're going to face the Panthers, who don't have a quarterback. I'm
That's
good.
true. Baker
Then we're going to
Mayfield's
face the
over in the
Packers again.
Rams now.
That doesn't. I could see us truthfully winning the 4 out of our next 5 games.
All right, you're on a high. I'm gonna let you have the high this week. I'm gonna let
The
you have it. I'm gonna let you
Vikings
have it.
are going down this Sunday at 1 o'clock on Fox. Be ready because the Lions are going to beat them. They're going to go into New York, beat the Jets because of I don't even know who's on their team at the moment except for Saucy Gardner. Beat the Panthers, beat the Bears again, and then the Packers. We will win, and we will be coming into the playoffs while your team is watching us. Enough said. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna let you have it this week. You know what? Because I have no room to talk, so I'll let you have it this week. But if they
Yes.
lose, when we come back
No,
next
I'm not
week,
coming.
you know
I'm
what's gonna
sick.
happen.
I'm sick. I'm sick
I was
already.
say, if
It's
they
a medical
lose,
condition.
remember this, because I'm coming with heat. Because I have
It
a
doesn't
bye week,
matter.
so
We'll
I
still have a better
I have a
record.
bye week.
I
No. We'll
I
have the same
admitted
record.
we have
We'll have the same record. We'll have the same record.
I said we will win 4 out of our next 5.
Okay.
If we lose to the Vikings, great. But we will have the better record by the end of the season
Okay.
and in the playoffs. So
It's hilarious when you get so like adorable in hopes and dreams being a sports fan that you are, because this is a great segue over to another team of yours that no longer has players. Washington lost players, and then those players, after leaving to other teams, have now come back to your division, my division as well. And that hurts you more than me because Trey Turner,
we suck. We suck. I'm not mad.
it's true. It's true. You just said, but yeah, so there's the baseball off season is what we're talking about now. It's in full swing. Trades are happening, or not trade. Well, yeah, trades are happening. Free agents are signing. Some of the big names have played or have signed now. DeGrom is over the Texas Rangers. Scherzer's now not Scherzer, but Verlander's now with Scherzer at the Mets. Doesn't scare me at all. Trey Turner to the Phillies scares me just a bit. I won't lie, just a bit. And then the Phillies also signed a pitcher from the Mets that was a free agent. That's so the Phillies are spinning this year.
They're good. They're good.
Braves haven't done anything, so we'll see. But um, Cody Bellinger, free agent, Dodgers cut him, went to the Cubs. A lot of other smaller trades. We'll get more details over everything once the World Cup's over. Since we have more time, we'll probably go over all the contracts and everything. But those are just some of the big names that I know we've seen.
Yep.
But I don't even want and like we can have a whole pod on just MLB free agency. So like that's just a little short snippet. But let's get back to the World Cup.
We'll get George back on here.
Yeah, we'll get George back on here. But until then, World Cup, baby. World Cup.
Let's just get. Can we get into today? Can we start
Let's
backwards?
do it. Yeah. Start from the last game. Okay.
I mean, was it a game? Like actually?
Well, Ronaldo
Like I know there was a
didn't
whistle
start.
and it was official.
Ronaldo didn't start, so does the game actually count? Is what I want to know. Because it was such a big deal. Ronaldo didn't start. Does it count as a game, or do they have to replay it?
I mean, do we need to replay it? They still.
No.
I don't know. I don't know how to interpret
Uh,
it. 6-1.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. That first goal,
Holy shoot!
I gotta give it. That first goal was gorgeous. I'm still not sure how that went in, but Portugal looked really good. But also, I figured Portugal would win this match, and I just don't think
Just not like
Switzerland.
that.
I was thinking like maybe 4-1. I just feel like Switzerland. So I feel like Switzerland was somewhat the same as the U.S. Like they were the two lightest teams you could play in the sense. Like if the U.S. had played Portugal, I could have also seen that the same score line. Like,
Yeah.
and I say that as a U.S. fan. Like we didn't play our best team or best game. So yeah, so Portugal whooped up on Switzerland, easy. And then to the first game of the day, Morocco with the upset, which I called
What
when
a game!
we talked on the phone this morning before the game started, and I was like, I can see Morocco winning it. It's going to take PKs probably, but they're going to win it. And you're like, I feel like Spain's probably going to take it. I was like, okay. Morocco's defense is looking really, really good. Really good. What worries me though with them is they don't create a lot of chances at all. And against Portugal, who they have to play now, you have to create chances. Because if you're under fire for 90 minutes, 120 minutes, however long it is, if you're not creating chances, you're not making it PKs. They'll break you
Right.
more than Spain can. Like Spain had that great first game in the group stages. After that, they really
Nothing.
fizzled out. Yeah. So, I mean, huge shout out to Morocco, though, because I mean, it's their first trip to the quarterfinals ever.
Bono played out of his mind.
Yeah.
The person I think was most disappointing, not even anyone in Spain, this poor kid. I don't even know his name. Like I just love Morocco because like I don't know most of their names. The striker that subbed on at like the 75th ish minute,
Yeah.
he had how many breakaways?
Yeah.
1v1 with goalie and messed up.
Yeah. Luckily, it didn't
I think
come back to bite them.
Cost them. Right.
Yeah. But I mean, those like as a soccer fan, they're both fun to watch. One is just pure defensive battle, like counterattack, trying to, see what happens. The other one is just an onslaught.
Yeah. And so that's like as we're going through it, let's just call it, and I'm going to write it down and track it. Morocco versus Portugal. Who do we have?
We'll have to take Portugal. I would love Morocco to win. I would love Morocco to win this game. I just don't think they have enough on the offensive side of the ball to counter anything because I don't see Portugal not scoring, and I just don't see Morocco scoring enough to counter them back. So if I were to pick a score line, 3-1 or 4-1 probably.
You know what? Okay, so Brandon, 4-1.
Yeah, I'll take 4-1.
I'm going to go 1-0. I think this game is going to be really close, and I think it's going to be because of the defense that keeps them in it. But I think they get one goal, and then Portugal sits back, and then Morocco throws the pressure.
I thought that, but my thing is also this. I think that once Portugal gets that one goal, Morocco has to break their defensive shell. And at that point, it's just going to give free flow for the Portugal attack.
Well, if you didn't see in the X-rays today, Bono actually has like a dog in him. Like
yeah,
he's a dog.
The problem is
I think he can handle it.
The problem is he's going to be facing a baby goat named Ronaldo. He's not the goat, but he's a baby goat. Messi's
similar to like goat. Jordan.
No. Jordan actually in his heart. It's
the baby goat.
No. Jordan's heart's actually a picture of Messi in his heart because he's close. That is close to as goat as he can be.
This is the only time we'll ever agree about Jordan because yes, he has Messi in his heart. Messi's the true goat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
let's go into yesterday.
Okay. Let's start. You want to start later game or early game?
Let's just get the boring one out of the way. Brazil took care of business. It was an utter joke. Poor South Korea literally had no chance, like at all. But I will have to say that goal that I don't even know his name. That volley, half volley, brilliant. Oh my gosh, I think that could be goal of the tournament.
There's been some good ones, but that one's up.
The way he got his hip around the ball, it was just meaningless. And Brazil took care of business. They did what they were supposed to do.
It wasn't as ugly as Portugal's win. At least South Korea made it a little closer, but at the same time, 4-1. It was over. It was over in the first half.
Totally. And then to the earlier game, Japan versus Croatia, and I circled this one.
I called going to PKs to you and a multiple. I said this game is going to go to PKs. I thought there's going to be more shots between both teams, but I was like, there's no way this doesn't go to PKs. I was like, both these teams are so evenly matched. I feel like I thought Japan could pull it off if it didn't get to PKs, but once you got to PKs, I was like, Croatia's going to pull this off, which they did. 3-1, I think it was.
Modric, and just Kovacic and everything. I mean, those are his team, and it really goes for Japan played a hell of a tournament. Truthfully, them and Korea, they did not have an easy way. And Croatia, man, they're underdogs. I don't think they stand a chance against Brazil. I don't think it's going to be what Brazil did to Korea, but I think Brazil takes care of them easily.
What do you think? I mean, just
absolutely. I could see it being like a 2-1.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking 2-1. I don't see Brazil pulling away, but I feel like they're also going to be comfortable in the 2-1 and not worried. Like they'll be worried like in the last 10 minutes because Croatia's going to be volleying balls down the field. But I think Brazil gets the 2-1 win as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think Japan um and South Korea leaving this tournament, it shows just like how much heart it really takes in the group stage. Like the group stage, this isn't like regular season. It's like they played their asses off.
Yeah.
And like you just go up against a juggernaut in Brazil now. Like
Yeah.
we knew where Brazil was going to make it through. It's unfortunate, you know.
Yeah.
But definitely Brazil Portugal final or round of semifinal.
No.
That's the word.
Brazil, Portugal would have to be in the finals. Brazil's on Argentina's side.
Brazil's on. I thought France and Argentina, France and England were on Argentina's side.
No.
Groups A and B. Okay, so I don't know how this whole thing works.
So it's more or less it's Portugal, Spain, or Portugal, not Spain. They lost. Portugal, Morocco, and France, England, and the winner of that plays each other.
Snap!
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
let's get to that game because that's what's next. A couple days ago.
The next two games are insane, I think.
Yeah.
Not this like lopsided stuff, but
all these. Okay. How good, in your opinion, was England in their last game?
Not great.
I thought.
I know if they played the great tournament.
If you look at any English fan, they're gonna be like, "We have the best team. We're bringing it's coming home." I get it. Whatever. I agree. I don't think it changes anything. I think they've had a decent tournament. They've whooped up on lesser teams, but when they've played tough opponents, which their toughest opponent has been USA, they couldn't break through. And unlike USA, France can break through rapidly.
Totally.
I think France wins this one 3-1.
See,
maybe 3-2, but I think France puts up 3 at least.
Like I want to say it's going to be a blowout. Like
it could
in France's favor.
It all depends on how much Mbappe
because I
wants
agree with you, and I know we're going to agree on the next game. And it's a dang shame that the only thing separating us is a 4-1 to 1-0 scoreline at the moment. But I think we're going to see this whole tournament the same way, man. France is going to beat up on England, rightfully so. Even just watching what they did to Poland, it was like they were toying with them. Like poor
like the difference
Lewandowski
is like
didn't have a chance.
Like England beat 3-0 to Senegal, yes. But if they were really as good as they think, like people are saying, they should have beat Senegal 5-0, 6-0, and what Brazil did what Portugal did. Like they should have put like. But yeah, France was never not in control against Poland. Like the only goal they got was Lewandowski's PK. The final moments of stoppage time.
Right. You see this going 3-1?
3-1 or 3-2. Like I don't like England has good attackers. I'll say 3-2.
Okay, Brandon, 3-2.
But
I'm gonna try to spice it up, man.
I think the second goal for England is going to be in like the 92nd minute, where it's going to be like it's just too late.
I have a feeling, man. It's just going to be 2-0.
You could
nice and simple. Get your points, defend, rest your players for the next one. 3-1. I'm gonna put me 2-0. Both got France, and I think we both are gonna pick. I hope.
There's only one correct answer.
Okay, so we're good, right?
It's that Messi scores a hat trick to beat Netherlands 3-0.
And how fit? I think this is going to be his hardest test of the tournament as of yet. Like I don't think he's been tested.
I don't know. I think Mexico
had pressure.
I think Mexico might be just because of the location of Argentina and Mexico and what that rivalry is in a sense.
But in terms of talent, you're going against Van Dijk. I mean, this guy's a goalkeeper without being in the net. Like he's insane. You also have Frankie De Jong, right?
Who's overrated.
He's not bad though.
He's not. And also Netherlands keeper is a big boy. But I still
Right.
think I mean Messi's magic is just the difference for like Netherlands this game is against the US, we had to drive into the box to get shots and crosses. Messi can be outside the box, and if you give him a half a yard, he'll put it in the back of the net. He doesn't have to
Right.
give power. He can curl it. He can do whatever he wants with the ball. Um,
Truthfully.
yeah, I see. I don't think Argentina lose it. I want 3-0, but honestly, I could see anywhere from 1-0 to 3-0. Like I could see this one being close just because Van Dijk is so good, but also he's not like a winger. Like if there's crosses coming in, shots coming outside the box, not in the center of the pitch, it's who knows how the left and right back will do. Because the left
I
back
see this
or
going 2-1.
okay, I mean yeah,
Because of what you're saying, I think the strength of this team is going to be set pieces. I think they could snag one, but I think Messi has two. Let's say even 3-1 in terms of like that third goal just being like they're
yeah,
pushing Netherlands and then they get it in the 92nd minute, whatever it is. But your total like I just think Van Dijk proposes a special challenge to Messi because what Messi does offensively is what Van Dijk does for his defense. And it's
yeah.
proven, right? Like he could defend and he organizes guys. Messi is obviously his everything he does on the pitch is at another step, but offensively, he
I
knows
think the
what's going on at
formation
all
that
times.
the whatever Argentina's formation they bring could matter a lot. Like if they put it
Mm-hmm.
more where there's multiple people out where Messi doesn't have to play, so like if Messi could play a bit more on the outside, I mean he's gonna roam, of course, he's Messi. But if he's not
Right.
having to play on Van Dijk per se, then it can make it so much easier. But
Yeah. So let's go even into the next round because I
okay,
believe when the pod comes out, the next set of games is the
it'd be so
Tuesday. Okay.
yeah, so Tuesday and Wednesday. So we'll miss the first game, the first
Do we just
quarterfinals.
want to match it up with it? Do you want to do it Wednesday night? Is that weird to just recap the last two games?
I mean, we can still make predictions now. I'm down with that.
Let's make the predictions and then we'll play that part by ear.
Yeah, we'll
But
play
if
by ear.
if
If our
our
predictions are
our
horrendously wrong, we'll just do it anyway. But if they're like spot on, then we'll wait
and
a
I don't
day.
think
But
we're going to be that wrong. I
no,
think we're pretty solid. Like Argentina, then Brazil.
if you were to pick one of the teams we have, because we all have the same winners. If you were to pick one team to pull off the upset, who would it be?
It would be if England finally once in their career could play up to their potential. I think England could actually beat France.
That's what the honestly the closest ones I feel like would probably be either England or somehow Netherlands if Argentina just craps himself. But I think England probably has the realistic only chance to pull off an upset in my opinion.
Oh, 100%. And Netherlands, that's a good point. But it's like, am I choosing Mbappe or Messi? And I don't think it's that simple. I think the entire team of Argentina is just that much better than Netherlands. But the potential of England, if like Rashford starts going off, these
Yeah, this
subs
one's
they're
England.
deep,
England
right?
has
They could go
more. Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. But okay, so
I don't trust them. I just don't
yeah,
trust those people.
so assuming we get all four predictions right, Argentina, Brazil, France, Portugal. God, what
Could we
matches would
just
those be?
could you imagine if we had an Argentina Portugal final?
I don't want that because I don't want Ronaldo to have the chance to beat Messi and say he won the World Cup over him. I want this is what I want. I want Messi to have to beat Neymar, go back to PSG with the World Cup trophy over his shoulders, and Messi beating Mbappe with the World Cup coming back to PSG as well over his two teammates.
So
Because
you
then
think that that's the
because
path that you're going with, right? You're going
I think
Argentina,
Yes,
France.
yes. I think France makes it where they almost get back to back World Cups, and Messi says, "No, this is mine. I'm retiring after this." And like for World Cups, he brings back the trophy. It's with him at PSG in his locker. He wins the Ballon d'Or, sits it next to that trophy, and Neymar and Mbappe just have to look and realize he's the goat. which he already is for Neymar. But Mbappe has to realize that he is the GOAT. And I love Mbappe. I do. He's an amazing player. But he's so young. Let Messi have it.
So I'm with you. I'm with you. Argentina beating Brazil. I love that storyline. I think this is going to be storylines, right? So, what you said, Neymar was Messi's little baby. He wanted to leave. Now they're back as teammates. Beat him, like put him in his place a little bit, right?
I could see
But
that
I
game going to
really,
PKs. I could see Brazil, Argentina going to PKs.
I, I think it could go, but I don't think I like our chances in PKs. Like, let's just call it what it is. Messi hasn't been the greatest.
No. But luckily in
I just
PKs,
rather
yeah.
him win it in
Oh no,
regulation.
yeah, 100%. But I'm saying I could see, honestly, I could see both semifinal matches going to PKs. Like that's how good all four of those teams would be against each other.
Yeah, and I think to your point of all of these games being able to go to PKs, I think France and Portugal has the most likelihood.
Yeah.
And I see in the final, I just see Messi, Ronaldo towards the end of their careers,
I mean,
one
it
crack
could
at it.
definitely be it.
This
It
is
could
the
definitely
thing
be it.
both of them don't have. Could you imagine that? How crazy and ape like they'll play like monsters. This is the one thing that is on their resume.
Yeah.
And like Ronaldo is never going to have the pressure of Messi because Messi had Maradona that he's living up to. He's playing against Ronaldo and Maradona his entire career.
Yeah.
This is his opportunity to shut up everyone. Portugal, Ronaldo is going to step up. He's going to step up big, and it's like a Messi. It's like
I don't think
almost I don't know
it doesn't
the
matter who.
first.
If it is Argentina, Brazil, Portugal, France in the finals or the final four, all four of those teams have one of the biggest name players in the world.
Oh, 100%.
Like the storylines will be there no matter what. If it's Argentina, it's can Messi finally get it? The same for Portugal. Can Ronaldo finally get it? If it's Brazil, it's can Neymar get past what Messi and Ronaldo couldn't do young enough in his career where he can go for a second one? If it's Mbappe there, it's can he get back to back and just make his legacy? Can his legacy become even more insane at such a young age?
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I think Argentina, Portugal. You think Argentina, France. I mean, it's only up. We can only wait and see at this point. Holy smokes. What a tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, we say it every time, man. It's just insane.
It's crazy. And I'm okay with it.
Speaking of crazy, can we just take a second before we wrap up?
Sure.
You want to talk fantasy?
I need your team to calm down.
My team, guys, I have been going crazy. I think I'm on like a 6-game win streak or something.
Yeah, you're popping off. Which you need to though, because you're falling a little behind.
I'm 10-3, buddy. You're 9-4.
Yeah, no. I lost this past week. It was
That's
very
insane.
unfortunate. My quarterback's
even looking at my past games.
How should I put this? My bench quarterback got me 2 points, and my starting quarterback got me 5 points. So that's how my week went.
My week went. Burrow dropped 30.
Oh, I know.
Devontae Adams dropped 40. Tony Pollard dropped 25.
Once again, I know.
Josh Jacobs dropped 20. I mean, I don't know if I said it on the pod last week, but where is it?
Listen, we're both in the playoffs.
My team dropped 215 the other week.
It hasn't been fun watching your team score. I won't lie.
But you know what? We'll if we go, this might be a Ronaldo Messi World Cup final if we're both in the fantasy playoffs, like championship.
Yeah.
The money will be coming out, and I'm gonna be rich.
This is the last week before the playoffs start.
We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see what the environment's like before we start making bets. Who we're going up against, what side of the bracket, everything like this.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
But, great pod.
I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to hurt your feelings when you have this hot streak. Here's what happens. Your team right now is the Lions. doing really good, really good. And I'm over here consistent. And then you're gonna need to get that one win to get in the playoffs. And I'm gonna come over there and just crush your hopes and dreams in fantasy as well as the Lions losing.
It's just gonna be a damn shame when I take more money from you.
Do, do you not recall the money you just sent me over the weekend from your lost bet?
I sent you money.
You did. I don't know why either. I saw money. I said,
I
okay.
sent you money. What bet did I lose?
I don't know. You sent me $20. I don't know what the bet was, but I said, okay, I'll take it. I want to bet.
That went to you?
Who was it supposed to go to? I live rent free in this kid's head. He owes people money. He instantly assumes it's me. That is how much I live rent free in your head. We can talk about that off the air. I'm not sending it back, just
Off
to be
the
clear.
air. Keep it.
This man didn't realize
Like
it.
and subscribe.
We'll catch y'all next week.